You know, they say the family is the bedrock of the society, and everything begins from the family, be it good or bad. Even the things that a child would become in future actually starts, the passion for it actually ignites from the family. We have Aisha Abubakar Atiku, who is an educationist, in the studio to talk to us about bullying. Welcome on the program, Aisha.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you. Aisha is a seasoned educator. She has over 13 years classroom experience. She's a certified educational administrator and currently heads a primary and secondary school. Yes. Welcome on the program again.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Being an educationist for over a decade now, could you tell us what your experience have been like?
Okay. Generally, it has been interesting, and I've been able to witness or experience a lot of different situations that have taught me a lot about myself, first and foremost, and then people in general, from a lot of different perspectives. So, yes, so it has been, I would say, enlightening.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, who would you say, as an educationist and in your perspective, who would you say is solely or majorly responsible for the upbringing of the child? Should it be the parents, the school, or just society generally?
Okay, that's a tricky one because as an educator, I believe it's a collaborative effort.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it depends on just one section, like you mentioned, the family or the school or the society. I believe it's a collective duty or responsibility, so to say.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But where specifically should schools come in the upbringing and formation of a child's character?
Okay. For the formation of character, I mean the foundation, like we usually say, charity begins at home. So nowadays, the school, children stay more in school than they stay at home. If you calculate the number of years people live, most of it, for those who went to school, they lived most of their lives at school. So I would say that the school has a huge responsibility as regards the molding of a child's behavior. Yes.
Okay. So. Okay. Meaning we are all responsible for the children that God has placed in our hands.
Yes, we
but
are.
Of late, you find out that there seems to be a little decline in morals and values. In your own, in your perspective, what would you say has happened?
Okay, that is actually as a result of so many factors. Some of which include borrowing of other cultures, and I believe also relaxing in our duties as parents as well as teachers. And I feel excuse me, all this is as a result of us being exposed to foreign culture, because the African man or woman is known to be an upholder of values, morals, respect, and what have you. So we have that as one factor. We also have the fact that parents are too busy these days with one or two things, and so they leave the responsibility to schools, and then schools mostly, especially private schools, have their hands tied. You know, there are restrictions with regards what a teacher can do to correct a child, and sometimes they are just, because of the restrictions, children just behave out of hand, you know. So I feel those are part of the factors that are responsible.
You find out that because of the way our morals and values have nosedived, the issue of bullying has become rampant in schools now.
Of course.
So what actually is the cause of bullying especially, and how can it be corrected?
Okay. Sorry, your first question again.
Okay, so I was like, the issue of bullying,
yes,
is now on a rise.
it is actually.
Yes. What would you say is the cause, and how can it be corrected?
Okay, to define the causes of bullying, we have to understand what bullying actually is. So bullying, we can define it as intentional harming, hurting, or manipulating someone, another person, and it can take many forms, physical, emotional, and verbal even. So all these are done with the intention of causing pain to the other person or subduing the other person. Yes, so that's what bullying is. And the causes, they vary from person to person. You would be surprised to find out that mostly what causes bullying is seeking attention by the doer. It could also be as a result of some insecurity.
Okay.
It could be a transfer of aggression as well.
Okay.
It could also be just revenge, as a result of revenge. Maybe someone did something to them and they have the power to cause pain to that person, either physically, verbally, or emotionally. So causes of bullying are so many.
Okay.
So yes, and it could take different forms, and mostly bullying it mostly takes place can I use the word underground?
Okay.
It could happen anywhere, but then mostly it's not the physical fight you see. Yes, it could. The most common form of bullying is emotional and verbal as well.
Okay.
So the physical one is mostly the least common, so to say.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but how can we correct this?
Okay. So bullying. Well, to correct it, we have to first create an awareness of what it actually is, because most people get bullied without them knowing that this is what is actually happening. So, and you can find that in different places, at work, at school, at home, even outside in the society. So awareness is the first step. When you know all the forms of bullying, you can identify it once it happens. That's the first step. I think the second step is knowing how to act, or how to react to bullying. And this reaction depends on what sort of bullying you are faced with. So when you are aware of what kind of bullying it is, you know how to react to whichever form of bullying it is. So yeah. And then also, I believe depending on the type of bullying or the nature or the degree of bullying, there should be consequences as well. Yes, so if people go about bullying and you find out and there's nothing done about it, then it will continue.
Just go.
Yes, on and on like that.
And it keeps getting repeated.
Yes, there should be consequences. Yes, to bullying.
So what strict measures do you think as a people?
Yes.
You actually mentioned that there should be consequences.
Yes.
But what strict measures do you think as a people and even school authorities can put in place so that those who bully others can know that, this is a strict punishment that can come to me because I've bullied someone else? Okay.
I believe let me talk about schools now. I believe schools should have policies regarding bullying. Create policies against bullying and have people, the families that are in your school, the children in your school, the teachers in your school as well. Have them know about that policy. Have them sign a contract. Excuse me. Have them sign a contract agreeing to that policy, and then let them know the consequences of all the forms of bullying that you have. So I believe when you know that you have signed and agreed that when you do this, this is the consequence. So I believe that's a measure that we should all take in all the schools around.
Okay. How about a word to parents on, some parents feel very comfortable when it's not their child who is being bullied, when it's their child bullying someone. Some parents even find it amusing.
Yes, that's very true. There are even some parents that are proud that their own child is not a weakling. It all depends on how we see things. All these things, they are also related, they are connected to our upbringing as well. So all these things, I believe, to parents, actually, we should pay more attention to our children. Observe even their body language, observe changes, any slight change. Talk to your child. Make it a habit to speak to your children. Be your child's best friend. Their first point of reference, their first point of inquiry, whatever they need to learn. Be their friend so that they have access to you for any information, because if you're not like that to them, they'll get that information definitely, but from maybe the wrong sources if you are not lucky. So that's my advice to parents. Observe, and then when they open up to you about them being bullied, whatever form of bullying it is, you need to reassure them, and you need to not let it go. You need to do something about it. Make them trust you. That if I say this to my mom, or if I tell this to my aunt or my uncle, they will help me out. They will solve this problem for me. So we need to follow up. Even after helping them, we need to follow up to ensure that it has totally been eradicated. Yes.
Well, it's a sincere prayer that very soon we wouldn't be hearing of bullying in anywhere, whether in schools, in workplaces, and what have you. Now that the children are fully at home, they're on holidays, how do we keep them engaged? Because you know what they say? They say an idle man, idle mind is the devil's workshop. So how do we keep them engaged?
Okay, there are different ways to keep your children engaged. Definitely, I wouldn't advise that you give your children to the screen, be it TV or the iPads or phones or what have you. I would advise that you take your children out. Visit family and friends. Take them to open parks if you don't want to go to people's houses, in these times that we are in. Yes, take them to open parks, take them to places, have fun, spend time with them. And at least I believe that would help with both your relationship with them, and you discover a lot of things when you are close to them like that. So yeah, that's my little advice.
Okay. So during festive seasons like this, because this is Christmas and end of the year, of course.
Yes.
During festive seasons, yes, you find out that most of the times children are left to their fate, and you find out that those who are in their teenage age go to places that normally they shouldn't. You would find out that in this season, someone is going to taste alcohol for the first time.
Yes. Definitely.
Someone is going to smoke for the first time.
Definitely.
Someone's daughter is going to do something she would not like, and which might have ripple effects on her. How would you advise that these festivities, how modest would you advise that this season should be celebrated? Okay,
I think this this period where we celebrate and have fun without, most teenagers are left unguarded, so to say. I am a bit conservative when it comes to, children. So definitely my first advice would be to have someone chaperone them. But then these days, parents mostly don't have time for that. So definitely I believe, since you cannot restrict them, communicate with them before, ahead of the celebrations. Communicate with them, let them understand that they are free to have fun, but they should do the right thing at all times. They should do the right thing at all times. And we are a people of religion, so you can remind them of how God feels about different acts and the repercussions of whatever you do in this life. So communicate with them and pray. Most of all, prayers. As parents, we need to hold prayer daily for our children, and let's hope for the best.
Thank you for your thoughts, and thank you for coming on Good Morning Abuja. It's been an engaging conversation with you. Thank you for all your words of advice.
Thank you so much for having me as well. I really enjoyed this too.
All right. Now, we've been talking to Aisha Abubakar Atiku, and we've been talking about bullying and also parenting, because it's like they go hand in hand. Proper parenting, no bullying. Improper parenting, you have more of the cases of bullying. Stay with us as Good Morning Abuja continues shortly after this time out.